And we are live, and as of course, on great form, the phone starts pinging. So let me stay on Do Not Disturb. And hello, welcome, happy Tuesday, and welcome to another Understanding E Mastermind live webinar. And I'm your host, Dave. Matt is not with us today. I don't know where he is, but he's not been around today. So yeah, you are stuck with me. And on that topic, I am going to be chatting to you today about back to school. As I'm sure most of you who are members of Understanding or have been following us for a while, a lot of you are parents, and I'm sure are counting down the days until the kids go back to school. Unless, of course, you're in America, then I think they've already gone back. Nick, good morning, afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining. So yeah, that's sort of the topic that I want to talk to you about today is back to so happy they're going back to school. Exactly. I think some parents, they love it for the first week or two. They have the kids around, it's fun, and then they start arguing or getting annoying or wanting constant entertainment, and then they want them to go back to school for a rest. So that seems to be the thread or the theme with those parents that I know anyway. But one of the things which, again, I checked through the logs. I don't think we've covered this in a mastermind before, but one of the big things that happens around this time of year is the back to school season in e-commerce. Now, a lot of people think that unless you're selling sort of stationery, school books, electronics, computers, laptops, that sort of thing, then back to school isn't really that relevant to you. But my take on this is that you can actually tie quite a lot into back to school if you just market it properly. James, thank you so much for joining live. Yes, great to have you here. And yeah, I know we were away for a few weeks, so yeah, we're back. We're back now. We're back live. But yeah, so I think if you just think a little bit outside of the box, sometimes you can actually come up with some very clever ways that you can market back to school in a bit of an interesting, different sort of way. And that's sort of what I want to be sort of challenging you to think about in today's webinar, because back to school, believe it or not, is a huge opportunity. If we take a look at some stats that were posted, I think it was earlier this year. Actually, it was like some predictions, but these numbers are American, so please bear in mind. We'll be talking in dollars here, but for 2018, total back to school spending is expected to top 27.6 billion, which would equate to around $510 per household. That's a slight increase on last year. And online shopping is estimated to reach 6 billion of that. So perhaps as expected, a lot of people talking about back to school, thinking about clothing, uniform, that sort of stuff, backpacks. That stuff is more than likely going to happen. Shoes is another big one. It's going to happen in a physical store, just because it's simple. A lot of people, and I would be one of them included, would leave it to the last minute, and you don't have time to be ordering different sizes from Amazon for shoes or different clothing. You're just going to go to a store, get your kid to try them on, pay for the ones that fit. So I understand that. However, the opportunity does still exist online. And the back to school season is actually the second largest shopping season in the year. Obviously, we know the first is Christmas, but yeah, it's a huge season, and one which we need to sort of be aware of. Now, a big thing which got announced, let me get this right, yesterday, I believe, is Amazon here in the UK are running, I think this is it's the first time it's ever been this big, but they're running their August bank holiday sale, and it's going to run from tomorrow, which is the 22nd of August, all the way for 8 days, just over a week, from the 22nd to the 29th of August, with big discounts across consumer electronics, Amazon devices, school bags, and stationery. Now, this is the first time that I personally have seen Amazon get heavily involved in sort of this back to school, especially here in the UK, this back to school market, this back to school sector, and it makes total sense. Amazon know that back to school is the second largest shopping event. I don't know if it's an event, the shopping season of the year, and they're going to utilize this to try and drive traffic. So starting from, I believe, midnight. Is it going to be? Yeah, it'll be midnight tonight. So from Wednesday the 22nd. If you go to amazon.co.uk/August sale, they're going to be running all sorts of different sort of threads. And to give you some ideas, they've got garden cleanup. That obviously makes sense. You've had the kids destroying the garden for the past 6 weeks. Could be, what sort of tools, things would you be looking at there? Festival fun. Again, there's a few festivals left coming up. Bank holiday weekend. So again, good timing for that one. Last of the summer. Sometimes we've had a great summer here in the UK. Largely, the last few weeks have been a little bit terrible, but overall, I don't think anyone can complain. That could continue on into September, and then we've got off to university, and they're trying to really market this back to school season, this back to school awareness to a lot more markets, like garden cleanup festivals, the obvious one of back to school / university. And the challenge is, how can you utilize your product range into this way of thinking? So again, Nick, I can't remember what it is that you sell. James, obviously hobby base. A fun one for you could be, targeting mums who all of a sudden may now have some more time. The kids have gone back to school. They can have some me time. They can do cross stitching or hobbying or crafting or whatever it might be. That could be a fun angle to go down. Sort of, your focus has been the kids for the past 6 weeks. Now let's take some time for yourself. Tools, industrial equipment. I mean, you could joke about tying kids up. I mean, don't do that. That would be a PR nightmare. But again, tools could be a fun one if you're talking about fixing the things that the kids have broken over the past 6 weeks. Or you get the gist. Those sort of things. Kids, broken the banister or whatever, and you want to fix it now they've gone back to school. Things along those lines. There's always, or usually, not always, there are some very strange and not so strange products which would be very difficult to market for back to school. But the majority, I believe, most people can actually find some way to tie this in. And the interesting point is, if Amazon is going to be running this 8 days of deals, you can guarantee that their marketing will be pretty good on this, and therefore we can expect to see an increased number of audience on the Amazon marketplace. In turn, what does that mean? So we've got more traffic on Amazon, you've got the more opportunity to make sales. It's also a great opportunity for you to utilize promotions on the Amazon marketplace and look into how, with some strike through pricing, you can actually look at potentially, doesn't even have to be that relevant to the back to school market. You could just look at trying to move some slow moving spring summer stock, liquidate, get some money in to prepare for autumn winter coming up. So utilizing back to school doesn't actually necessarily need to be a back to school theme. It can just be utilizing the increased traffic that you're going to find on the marketplaces. eBay for the past few years, I've always done like deal weeks and stuff. This last week in August on back to school. In fact, I've not been on eBay today, but it wouldn't surprise me if we have some banners along those sort of lines. Let's just have a check. Yeah, it's taken a while, but the point is, I mean, it isn't a new phenomenon, and it's only getting bigger. Okay, so eBay's headline right now is up to 70% off fashion. Oh yeah, there we go. Scroll down. Featured sales and events, back to school supplies. So let's click on that. Watches. tablets, lunch boxes, backpacks. Yeah, so they're doing very much the usual stereotypical back to school target. Utilize your mailing list as well. Like, this is the perfect time if you have something relevant that could help a parent or a child this time of the year. They are more than likely we're the 21st right now. They're still enjoying this last week of relative freedom. Come next week after the bank holiday, it's like panic stations. Okay, we've got a week left to get ready. If you could set up an email list, an email to go out to your list, talking about, let us take the stress out of your back to school shopping. Here's what we have, blah, blah, blah. Special offer for, this last week of August or first week of September. You actually have the ability to be the master of your own destiny a little bit and control and encourage sales at a time when the theme is quite widespread. It's almost, you can see why it's sort of like mini Christmas, because you have, not only do you have the obvious stuff, but you can really tailor, as I've said earlier, your products largely to a back to school theme, whatever it may be. Is it something for dad, dad or mom, now that the kids have gone back to school, to enjoy on their own? Is it DIY, home makeover, garden stuff? Is it, we've got to remember, Matt's always said in the past that back to school is basically kicking off Christmas season. Last year, I would say it didn't seem that way for me. A couple of years ago, it certainly did. Last year, Christmas seemed to start a little later. What the reasons for that, I'm not sure, whether that be weather, seasonality, whatever. But yeah, it's one of those. Obviously, the football season has just started. So again, is there something you can tie into that? The Ryder Cup will be coming up. So I know Mike and Liz doing your golf stuff. There's lots of things that you could tie into back to school, but that aren't necessarily back to school, if you know what I mean. You're more making the most out of the current audience and the current increase in traffic for the majority of people. And feel free to let me know in the chat over on the right hand side of your screen, how's your August been? I've seen that a lot of people have had pretty slow June and Julys here in the UK. And I do think the weather and the World Cup have played a large part in that. But as the weather seems to have taken a bit of a turn, I have seen more people saying, oh, the sales are picking up. So again, let us know how your sales have been getting on in the past few months. Has summer been a bit of a washout? Not literally. Did Prime Day come to the rescue? Did you see a spike around Prime Day? Did you do anything for Prime Day? Because if you have had a pretty slow first 2-3 weeks of August, back to school is your perfect opportunity to take the bull by the horns, get involved, and actually generate some of your own buzz around seasonality, around people who will be shopping online. Run some promotions, re-hit your lists, because again, we're looking at consumer behavior. If they are already in the mood to buy because of back to school, they're going to be much more likely to buy other things which may be not even related. It is that psychology of, once someone is in the frame of mind to make a purchase, they're much more likely to carry on and make another purchase. So that is the large part of what I wanted to talk to you today. Is literally back to school is here. It's, the first time ever we've seen Amazon running a week-long promotion through, and then labeling it as the August bank holiday sale. It's largely a back to school theme. That is what they'll be running with. And I wanted to let you know, like I say, if you haven't heard about this, click show more down below, and as you go down there's a little blue thumb button or a little gray thumb button. Click it and it goes blue, and that makes the world a better place. So definitely do that. And there's a big red subscribe box as well, so click that as well. But yeah, if you click in the description, there's a show more button. Click that. I've got 2 links for you down there. Number 1 is back to school being the second biggest holiday of the year. That was a piece that Richard wrote over on eSeller Cafe about 11 days ago. So pretty fresh. And lots of stats in there for you to take a look at if you're that kind of person. You want to get into the nitty gritty. take a look at that. The second link is Amazon's announcement that they are running this 8-day bank holiday sale. I don't think it's going to be as big as Prime Day or Black Friday. There's been a lot less hype about it. However, it's still a great opportunity for you to, especially if you are selling on Amazon, to really ramp up those sales, really get involved with what is going on the Amazon marketplace, and to have your own little bit of success there. And of course, finally, my advice would be whatever you're doing on the marketplaces, you should also be trying to replicate on your own website. So again, socials, doing promotions, getting some images put out there, as well as videos if you're a video person, but also emails. Retarget your email list, re-engage them, let them know you've got a promotion running, and hopefully try and target it to something that they will care about, something which will help them. And that's how you're going to see some success, hopefully a lot of success, and the best way to utilize back to school for your e-commerce business. So that is the majority. That's the main core of everything that I wanted to talk to you about today. I felt it was very topical. It was something that I wanted to try and help you guys out with. So like I said, I know August can be a tricky month, and yeah, I hopefully this can you can put something in place to try and make the most of that. James, where's Matt? That's a great question. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. I don't know. I've not seen Matt all day, and he knows Tuesday is webinar day. So whether he's got caught up with something, I've sent him a message on Skype. He's not. He's showing us offline. So hopefully everything's fine at Casa del Matt. Obviously, he's still got the kids there off school. I know he's away next week. I think he's away on holiday again. He booked another holiday to cram in before the kids go back to school. So you'll be stuck with me again next week. But yeah, other than that, I honestly don't know. He was around yesterday. He is around. He's doing stuff. But as for today, I've just not spoke to him. Spoke to H earlier. We had the team meeting. And he was knocking around, but like I said, I've just not seen him today. So it's a great question. I've no idea. Matt works in elusive ways sometimes. So if anyone's got any other questions, now is a great time to ask. I know this has been a pretty quick one. Like I said, it's just me today, so we tend to get through things a little bit quicker. So yeah, now's I'm me, but I'm happy to do some Q&As if anyone's got any questions, any problems I can help with. James, how's the YouTube stuff going? I mean, I've been quiet on YouTube, largely because, as you can see, I'm now in a different. I've finally got my desk set up here. Hopefully, the completion of my move goes ahead on Friday. And then I'll feel a lot better about everything. But I do have quite a few videos that I want to get out, including yesterday I filmed an interview with John Hayes about it started off about the bike trip that we did, the charity bike ride. And then we sort of spun that off into the wider topic of how to write your first book, how to write a book, the process that John goes through. This will be John's 5th book that he's written, but the first one that is not business related. So I think there's quite a nice bit of value in that. There is definitely value in that, as well as me and John telling some stories about the bike trip. So that hopefully I can get that video out late. If it's not tomorrow, it will be Thursday, I would think, on the channel. And yeah, I need to give people a bit of an update as to what's been going on and lots of other stuff. So James, yes, good. We have got into a routine with my marketing person. Fantastic. A routine is the best thing when it comes to content. And this, again, was something I was chatting to John about yesterday. I'm currently helping an education. I'm currently working for an education company in America as their marketing, the senior vice president of marketing. Yeah, very, very, very glamorous title. But I've been getting that team into the process and into the mindset of we create content. We are publishers, we are marketers. What we have to do is create great content that gives value, and we also need to have a routine. because when people start to expect content from you on a regular basis and you don't let them down, which we've been guilty of the past few days, like I said, me and Matt both, we went away and came back and things got a little bit tricky. But yeah, so I'm a big believer that a routine is key, and the more that you can stick to it, the better. It's a multi-pronged approach. We do an FB Live on Friday, recording for YouTube, which we link into MailChimp, send out, and gear it around a group of products each week. Fantastic. That is, yeah, absolutely. The multi-pronged approach is 100% the way to go. Again, John is the master of, he's a master marketer. He's been in the game a long time. And whilst he's a big fan of email, he is also a big fan of content creation. We've used the analogy so many times through UE that, you know, the blog is the hub of your content, but then you have the spokes or the prongs, and FB Live, your YouTube, your MailChimp, your blog, your website, it all ties in very nicely. So that multi-pronged approach to marketing is super important, and definitely the way to go. And it's, like I say, it's something in which we've done our best to utilize in UE. And now it's something which I'm trying to instill and grow that culture into the education business over in America. So, and it's, you know, we did the same with eSeller Cafe for a while, with, you know, the blog posts, the videos, the podcasts. So yeah, it is the way to go, and it's effort. It takes a lot of organization, a lot of time to do, but the rewards are worth it if you can stick with it for the longest time. Yeah, it's taken ages to get to this stage, absolutely, James. But as I talk about you, James, more than you probably know, because I always, I know that as far as like from the marketing content that we did a few years ago, and obviously I know you're sick of the YouTube content that we talk about, and trust me, so am I. But yeah, I talk about you because you are the person who looked to be taking action basically on what we was talking about, and seeing the results, seeing your YouTube grow, seeing the Facebook page grow, and just hearing about the success that you've had in now building your website audience. That's the holy grail. So like, I'm proud of what you've accomplished, and I know the hard work that has gone into that. And you know, it does take a long time. It takes a lot of work. But yeah, it's a credit to you, and the rewards will come for sure. I'm sure you're seeing them already, but if you carry on, it will keep on. It will keep on keeping on for sure. Yeah, Nick, massive kudos to James on that one. So with that said, guys, I don't want to keep you longer than is necessary. I'm sure you've all got your back to school marketing programs to go now. Prep, I hope. And as always, if you've got any questions, you can either link them down in the comment section below, or you can head over to the forums. I'll get back to you there. Reach out personally. You guys know the Facebook group is always open as well. The weekly catch-ups have really helped to motivate me, I'll be honest. Well, fantastic. That, to be fair, when we called them the UnderstandingE Masterminds, that was the original name that we had. We sort of stole that from a concept that happened out in when we went to that conference in Thailand with the Dynamite Circle, and that was they called them masterminds then. And so many online entrepreneurs that I know are part of a mastermind group, and it's basically an accountability group. That's all it is like, usually you'd get together once a week, maybe 5-6 of you in a Skype call, on a Zoom, on a whatever webinar, and you literally just tell people what you've been working on, what you've struggled with, and you know what you plan to do this next week. And literally everybody just holds everybody else accountable. And like I said, if you just coming along and hearing us talk about something and is a motivation, then fantastic. That's what we want to achieve. And it can be a lonely place heading up a business, so it's nice to bounce a few ideas off. James, 100%. I understand you immensely. In fact, I've been toying with because again, I get that comment so often on the Mank Entrepreneur channel, with entrepreneurs reaching out, asking for advice, or just saying they're struggling. Can they ask a question? Can they bounce an idea? So I have been thinking. I've been thinking about, is there a way that I could set up an accountability group of some sort where literally people can just, literally come bounce ideas off each other. No competitive, nature. No, oh, I can't tell him this because he's a competitor. Try and keep that out of it. But literally just have that accountability and that network of other entrepreneurs who understand the loneliness, the struggle, and everything else. It's something which the idea has been floating around in my head for the past few months. And I have no idea how to actually action it or how the best way to action it is. But if I come up with something, I will of course let you know, and the rest of everyone on UE, if I feel it's something that would be valuable to them. Anyway, that said, thank you so much for getting involved, Nick and James. I know it's been a quiet one. I did half expect it, the August ones to be quiet purely because it's August. People go on holidays. People are doing, the number of people I'm emailing right now, and I get out of offices saying, "Oh, I'm back in September." So it's nice for you guys to be around. I appreciate you turning up and chatting with me today. It's always a pleasure. But yeah, as I said, it's been half an hour or so I'll let you guys crack on with what you've got to do. Again, like I said, any questions, any ideas you want to bounce off, please reach out. I'm never far away from the laptop or my phone, so again, you don't think about this stuff. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much as always, and I'll catch you next week. Yeah, and it will just be me again next week. So apologies, and see you then. Thank you so much.